In this explainer, we'll look at how to create an order in Offie Trips, how a driver receives a booking request in the Telegram bot, and how the trip progresses within the driver's personal cabinet app. All clarifications will be provided on the example of driver Hassan Ali. First, let's look at his revise. In the 10th week, a certain amount of income is reflected and there is a certain positive balance. Let's expand it and see the sources of income. Hassan worked with Bolt and Uber, and in the Offie Trips column we have 0 dirhams. Accordingly, all earnings, including cash, were received from only 2 ride-hailing platforms. In the detailed revise of the same 10th week, we see that his profit amounted to 26 and a bit dirhams, which is 20% of the total income of 132 dirhams from the 2 platforms. There were also cash earnings. The value of their difference can be seen in the driver's account balance, because the driver receives cash directly from passengers. Let's create an Offie Trips booking for him and see how this will affect the information in the revise. Click the green button and select the type of future trip. For this time, let's go with Standard. We also specify the intended driver. The car will be retrieved automatically, according to the assignment from the calendar event or through the handover act. Specify an arbitrary hotel as the pickup point, let Dubai Mall serve as the destination, and set the fare, i.e. the cost of the trip, at 100 dirhams. It is worth reminding that we have chosen the fleet type of commission here, so we can see how its withholding will work for this order. Type an assumed name for the client, passenger. The remaining fields are optional, and you can enter important information in them as needed. This is enough to create a trip. Let's go to the Telegram bot of the driver Hassan. Instructions on how to connect the driver to it can be found in the previous tutorial. The last message here is information about balances. For clarity, I also have the same driver's personal cabinet open, where I want to describe his status. We can see that the driver is offline for Offie Trips. Here you can go online or stay offline. This doesn't affect the ability to accept Offie Trips orders. We can see that the driver is on the schedule and the current vehicle is under the handover act. Now we create a trip. We see that the Telegram bot immediately sent a notification to Hassan. The following information is displayed. A new request for a ride with a specific ID, the client's name, and who the order is intended for. The created trip appeared in MyTaxiCRM at the booking stage. In turn, a notification about the trip offered by the manager to the driver appears in the driver's cabinet app within 5 to 10 seconds. Hassan accepts the order. He has access to the address of the pickup location. This information also appears in the Telegram bot. There is also a button that allows Hassan to go directly to his personal cabinet from the bot. In the Offie Trips section of the MyTaxiCRM system, we see that the order stage has changed to accepted. Available information on the date and time of the trip creation and when the request was accepted in a minute. Let's go back to the driver's cabinet and follow the journey. Let's put ourselves in the driver's role, as if Hassan had already arrived at the pickup point. Swipe from left to right. The passenger waiting time counter starts ticking. There is also a green button with a phone handset icon to make a call to the customer. If you use the button from a smartphone, you would be automatically redirected to the call app with the customer's number filled in. After updating the page, the system changed the stage of the trip to arrived and added information about the date and time of the driver's arrival to the passenger on the right. When the passenger has boarded, Hassan confirms it by swiping. The Offie Trips system, in turn, displays the destination address. The same address is also updated in the Telegram bot. Hassan needs to start driving along the route. the system changes the trip stage to in ride once again. While Hassan is transporting the client, let's switch to the online section. Here we use the filter on the right to narrow the information to Hassan Ali only. We can see that he is in the online status in Offie Trips at the under order stage. The online section is designed to allow you to monitor the driver's status not only in any of the ride-hailing platforms, but also in Offie Trips. We switch to the Offie Trips tab, where the time of the passenger's arrival is displayed on the right. And on the screen of his personal cabinet, Hassan completes the trip with a swipe to the right. The system changes the trip stage to done for the last time and displays information about the corresponding date and time. The trip itself can be deleted from the list, but it's better to learn how this trip affected the driver's revise. We see information about the fare of the trip and its actual final cost, the actual amount received by the driver. The final cost can be changed, but more on that in the next clip. The trip also has a commission of 20 dirhams, an income in the amount of 80 dirhams, which is recorded on the driver's account for further distribution between the parties according to the prearranged terms of cooperation. A variety of the trip commission was the fleet. Let's show what it looks like in the driver's revise. I click on his name to go to the card, open the revise tab where we see the change in the account balance. In the details, we can see that new earnings data from Offie Trips has been posted. The total income is 100 dirhams. The net income from the trip is 80 dirhams, minus the commission. Plus, we can see the details about the commission, where it can be seen 20% or 20 dirhams. In the detailed form of the weekly reconciliation, let's go through each of the items with changes. Here, the driver's profit has changed because his total income has also changed. Now it is not 20 but 42 dirhams. Next, the amount of cash the driver possesses has changed. Previously, the value was minus 25, but now it is minus 125, because Hassan received much more cash on hand. Accordingly, his balance has become even more negative. We need to understand where the commission went, because only 80 dirhams were included in the total income. And the commission amount of 20 dirhams was transferred to the fleet and reflected in the park refund line, which directly increased the profit of the fleet itself. Thus, the commission amount was deducted from the fare and did not affect the driver's balance, although it did change the situation with his cash.